Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So I've been trying to figure out what to do with my YouTube, whether it's posting videos, trying to figure out on my journey of what I want to do, or do I just go on with sports, since I've always had sports videos. And so for those who don't know, I am a nurse and my sister's looking at me through the window, but I'm really excited. So what I want to talk about in this video is how I landed a job in sports as a nurse. For those who don't know, I've been a nurse for about 2 years now. 1 year I was spent inpatient in the hospital on a step-down unit in North Carolina, and another year I've been spending outpatient in a community health center, both of which have been great opportunities and great experiences, interacting with different people and learning how to communicate, working with different teams, different patients who may have good days and bad days. But what I really enjoy doing is sports and watching sports and talking about sports. And so a few years ago, I have made a lot of videos about the women's national team, the NWSL, the WSL, the Women's Champions League, the Women's World Cup. And so all of these videos have just been on my YouTube, and I haven't really been consistent with it. But how I landed a job in sports is by embarrassing myself essentially on YouTube, portrayed what it is that I am passionate about, which is sports. And so all those excitements of like, welcome back to my channel, all that stuff, all those cringiness moments, those all kind of tied up into my portfolio. And when last year, the Club World Cup, Men's Club World Cup, was in the US, and I was in North Carolina at the time, and Charlotte was one of the host cities, I just on a whim decided to volunteer. And so I went through the application process. It was very kind of easy process. There was no like formal interview. It was just like a video recording you sent of yourself. But I feel like that experience, getting that experience, going out to the tryout, which is basically like an acceptance, and meeting all the people, going through all the different games, the match teams. I was in the media operations unit or department, and so I saw a lot of the behind the scenes of the players walking through the tunnels. I saw the players doing pre-game interviews, post-game interviews, walking them when the not final whistle, but like the starting 11 was coming underneath the tunnel. I was able to be there like behind the camera watching them go onto the field as they're listing their names off for the starting 11. I saw all the mascots, the referees. I saw like first-hand engagement with the fans and the photographers. It was just such a surreal experience, and being on the field, like I actually got to touch the grass, the same grass or turf as Jude Bellingham, which is kind of insane to even think about. Like, oh my god, Jude Bellingham coming from England and from Spain, and I got to literally touch the same grass as him. Like, what is this life? I don't even know. But it was really cool, and I feel like that experience, just trying, even though thousands of people apply to be volunteers, just putting yourself out there and applying and getting accepted, was able to put that on my resume. And because I had my YouTube portfolio and also now having this volunteer portfolio, those two experiences in sports, relatively free. Like, you do not need a degree to post on YouTube. You don't need a degree to apply to volunteer at a world tournament. You just have to be confident and put yourself out there, even though it's cringe and it's just like, what? But I feel like those two experiences really allowed me to build a portfolio in sports. And when I was looking at my sports resume and my media resume, I was like, wow, like I kind of have something that allowed me to apply. For those who don't know, there's a National Women's Soccer League, which is a women's professional league in the US, and there's a new team called Boston Legacy FC. I am based in Boston, and I was like, oh, let me just look at what sports jobs are out there. I googled it. Boston Legacy FC was hiring for a street team position. What did I do? I applied for the position and I got it. I was really excited. It was kind of the first time doing an interview that was in healthcare, and I feel like what stood out in my application to even allow me to get the interview was because I have media with YouTube that has geared over 50,000 views. I also have the experience of working in a major tournament like a Club World Cup and working in the media operations behind the scenes. And so both of which made all of the like Boston Legacy FC to be like, oh yeah, she, you know, has a resume, she's passionate, she has some credibility within the sport. I had all these YouTube videos online on a public platform that shows, one, that you are comfortable communicating, you're comfortable being in front of a camera, and yeah, I mean, I am. It's just really fun. I feel like I'm in my own, like, talking to myself, basically, literally just, and it might sound kind of weird, kind of creepy, kind of weird, but like, it's just fun for me, and it just feels like, oh my god, like, you're talking about something you're passionate about, and I feel like I try really hard for that to come off naturally. And I think to the hiring manager, that shows, okay, this person is able to connect to a large scale of people. It may not have to be 1 million people, but like, it's more than one, it's more than 100, it's more than 1,000, it's more than 10,000. It's like pretty impressive for someone who is just sharing a part of, you know, their passions with everyone else who also is passionate. And then also with my World Cup experience, playing in a major tournament like the Club World Cup, with an international tournament, you're also, there's high stakes, like, there's a lot of things going on, it's a very fast-paced environment behind the scenes, and it's like, okay, she has media experience there as well in a professional setting. I think to the hiring manager, it showed, again, credibility, and it allowed me to get that first round interview, and it was really very chill. I mean, the street team, the aim and the goal is for you to engage with people in your community and get them to come out to your games on a weekly basis and to support, grow your fandom. It's kind of those situations where you don't need a degree in sports, you kind of just need experience. And yeah, I didn't have any networks, and I got the position, and I don't currently work in that position anymore just due to personal reasons, and things just wasn't working out. But I for sure would love to work back at Boston Legacy down the road, when my schedule kind of aligns a little bit more. Again, still I am as a nurse, and so it's trying to find that balance, and maybe, you know, pursuing sports full time. I don't know what that would look like, but it definitely would be a dream. And yeah, so I was able to land the job, and in the interview it was very much like role playing, and I was kind of nervous because I'm like, I don't really know how to do this. It's kind of like also cringe, but I had to just be like, okay, I'm on camera again, like, how am I gonna convince someone that they should come to a game? How should I kind of market this team, be like, no, it actually is worth your time and your gas money to drive all the way to Gillette Stadium? Just like, okay, how do you market yourself, how do you market the team and get all these engagement? And yeah, I think it was good. It was pretty intense. I was so nervous. I almost thought I wasn't gonna get the position, but like, the vibe and the energy within the interview was just amazing, and I got the offer like a month after. It was actually, no, I think it was like 3 weeks after the interview, so I thought, oh my god, they're just ghosting me, but they actually got back to me and I got the offer. And then I did the full-on orientation, and again, I ended up cutting my time there short just due to logistics and things like that, but it was a great learning experience to see what it's like to actually interview for a sports team, like a professional sports team in football, and in the whole, and it also just gives you confidence, like, oh my gosh, like, all these videos and volunteer experiences that you don't think will carry much weight, like, it actually does carry weight. It was pretty cool, and I think the coolest part is that how full circle it felt. But I don't know, I think now I'm going to kind of shift. My goal is to continue to still pursue sports. That has been the constant in the front of my mind for the past, honestly, almost 10 years next year. And it's gonna be really full circle because I fully was locked in on the 2019 Women's World Cup, and now it's a 2027 Women's World Cup next year. And I started watching the women's national team in 2017, like full on consistently, and now it's going to be about 10 years next year, which is the Women's World Cup. And I'm like, okay, now I have to like cover this, so it's going to be so fun. There's so much excitement around women's sports and women's football in general. Obviously the men's World Cup is happening now, and I don't even know, but my goal for this channel is to continue with storytelling and to actually be consistent, because I just really enjoy making videos. I like editing videos. I like talking about players that no one really, you know, acknowledges, or I would say like the underrated players. I think I want to share their stories and really doing the research for you guys and presenting it to you in a very compelling way, and just doing storytelling and sharing all about these players that are people first. And how exciting would that be to, you know, one day officially like sit them down and have an interview with them? Like that would just be kind of sick. Like imagine like the sports Oprah. I don't really want to be like Alex Cooper, like do podcasting, even though I guess it could become a podcast, but like I don't really want it to be a podcast. And it's very rude for this airplane to interrupt me when I'm speaking. But anyway, most of my videos have been like women's sports, women's football. Do I broaden that and do men's football as well, especially since it's the World Cup? Or do I just stick to like the NWSL? Or do I also include like the WNBA? I don't know yet. I think I'm gonna stick to football first, because that's what I really like the most. And maybe I'll just do both. I don't know. I really want to do interviewing somewhere down the line. And so I think I want to continue doing storytelling about players that I think need to be highlighted or should be highlighted more. And also I can always shout out like the player of the week, maybe for the NWSL, like, oh, this player of the week, let's go a deep dive into who they are. Because I remember back in the day they used to do lifetime like exclusive interviews or specials on players, or like the player of the month. So I'm like, okay, maybe I can just reinvent that, and not invent, but like bring it back a bit. And so we'll see. But also I also did get an interview for the host volunteer coordinator for Boston's one of the cities that are hosting the World Cup. And they were, because I did the volunteer experience, I was invited to be a volunteer again for the World Cup. I ultimately turned that down too. Like I'm like, oh my god, all these opportunities, and I'm turning it down. But it's just logistically, again, it's hard to balance when I'm working a 40-hour week and working Monday through Friday as my nursing job. And so it's difficult to balance. But my goal is to maybe go part-time with nursing, I don't know yet, or just full-time with sports. I think even again reiterates like it is possible to get a job in sports, and again, you don't need a degree in sports to get a job in sports. I'm a nurse with literally all my background is in healthcare and media, like kind of media because of YouTube, and like my just desire and passion for talking about sports. And so yeah, and you know, anything's possible. And you know, I think if you just keep believing and thinking that like if it's meant to be, it would be. I mean, you never know. So I mean, hopefully like this comes to something. If not, it just continues to just be a fun hobby and passion of mine that you guys get to join me on. But yeah, I'm really excited, and I just can't stop smiling. You just have to stay tuned. You're just gonna have to subscribe and comment exactly what you want me to talk about, what videos you want me to keep doing, and what videos you don't want me to keep doing. But please be nice, don't hurt my feelings, because I will just mute you and delete your comment actually. So but anyways, feel free to like, subscribe, and share the love.